Now for a movie rant break, One Up presents a movie rant break. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Movie Rant Break with your host, One Up. What up? We got a super awesome episode today. I got returning guests. We got the streaming, shooting, killing motherfucking machine, Matt G in the building.
What's up, brother? I had to get my one out of the way.
All right, that's fine. You're done. You're done. Okay.
AKA MG the Iceman on YouTube.
Plug.
Get that in.
Love it. Love it. Okay, so today I am reviewing Dune Part 2 with Matt G.
Yes.
And he has read how many of the books?
All 6 of the main books.
Of the main books.
Yes.
Okay, so give us some context of his backstory to Dune, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are big fans, and I don't want to make them think that we're not, or at least I'm not trying to have someone with some kind of foundation in here, because I'm not privy to Dune. I rewatched the first one. I did review the first one, and the main thing was just disinterested. Although a well done film, I have no qualms with it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just to give context, so I'm gonna have Matt G kind of unpack some shit and talk about my thoughts on it. And yeah, Dune Part 2 with Matt G. Here we go.
Let's go.
All right. So the book came out, 1965? Does that sound right?
Yes.
Okay. So this film was directed by Denis Villeneuve, screenplay by Denis Villeneuve and John Spates, who's based on the book Dune by Frank Herbert. Herbert. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes that shit gets silent, or it's Herbert.
Herbert. No, it's Herbert.
Herbert. Produced by Mary Parent, Cale Boyder, Patrick McCormick, Tanya Lapointe, Denis Villeneuve. I don't know if I said it different every time I said it, but
You might have.
I'm trying. Starring Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya. She's rocking the one name.
Kind of fire.
She's a G. She's just like, you can call me Zendaya. Rebecca Ferguson, Josh Brolin, Austin Butler, Florence Pugh. Pugh. Good looks. Dave Bautista, Christopher Walken, Leah Seydoux.
Sure.
Suhelia Yacob, Stellan Skarsgård, Charlotte Rampling, Javier Bardem.
Legend.
I actually did like him in this.
Lisa Galib.
You saw it. Cinematography, Greg Fraser. Great job on that. Edited by Joe Walker. Music by Hans Zimmer. Makes sense. He usually does. Warner Brothers put this out February 6, 2024 in the Auditorio Nacional or Nacional. I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm assuming some film screening festival or event. But it released in the U.S. March 1st. Mm-hmm. Runtime 165 minutes. Budget 190 million, with a box office so far it's saying 515 million. And this is March 23rd, so that's day 23, I guess.
Something like that.
24, some shit. So, yeah, reception that they're giving currently on some of the spots. IMDb is giving 8.8, Rotten Tomatoes 93%, Metacritic 79%. And just to give people context as well, original Dune score, I gave it a 6.1. Mm-hmm. So going into this. Are you comfortable giving the brief breakdown? Because I just feel like you'll give it way more justice.
The brief breakdown?
Yeah, it can be super brief.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot to unpack. Obviously, the first one ends with Paul joining the Fremen, excuse me. And
the desert people.
Joins them, learns their waves, rides a sandworm.
Spoiler.
Gets to, essentially, there's been propaganda from the Bene Gesserit that somebody from the outer world is going to lead them to, Arrakis, a.k.a. Dune, which is the same planet, but the actual name is called Arrakis. They call it Dune, becoming a green paradise. and he's the one that's supposed to lead them. And then it goes through trials and tribulations, and obviously, House Harkonnen has beef with them because they've had beef with the Atreides for thousands of years. And it's essentially like Game of Thrones, but sci-fi.
Okay.
And then
they're fighting to take back control.
Fighting to take back control of Arrakis after Paul's, family was slaughtered.
Yeah.
Then, I think that's a pretty good.
That's good.
Brief breakdown.
Yeah. There's some battle over the struggle of the planet Dune, or
for the spice, which is a psychedelic drug, which essentially Frank Herbert related it to kind of like LSD, but people need the spice to be able to intergalactic travel. So essentially, all these people that take the spice are just fucking geeked up off of it, traveling through planets, and it's the rarest commodity in the galaxy.
Turn up. I'd want some spice, so. Shit, I might have some spice. I might have done some spice. Shit, just dropping in on this. I just want to make clear the cinematography, the music, special effects, the sound, the color grading that they did, and the color in the movie was all great. Acting was mostly good. I think Timothy Chalamet. I don't particularly love his character. It's not overly believable, but that aside, those other elements of the film are just well done. The film itself, I just thought well done. The movie experience itself, going and watching it, it was a pleasant movie experience. I liked it. But I don't care about the movie. But it was a good watch.
Okay,
and. No problems with the movies. No, anything overly bothered me.
Okay.
I just think overall take is just disinterested like I was the first film of the characters in the plot. And it may be because of previous material that I've seen on screen, whether it's Star Wars or other films that I felt like they were utilizing shots or scenarios like when they have that battle scene in the Coliseum. It just reminded me of Gladiator a lot. Naturally it's going to do that.
That's again, it's in the books, and
and so
it's always interesting to me when people are like, Dune reminds me of Star Wars. George Lucas got inspiration from Star Wars from Dune. Dune is written in the 60s.
I hear 50s, you
60s. Anakin and Paul are the same person.
No, and
it's the Spider-Man meme where they're just pointing at each other.
No, I get you. So I'm just saying that I think that's what made it feel not stale per se, because I enjoyed the movie and it was well done, but just disinterested with what was going on because of previous exposures to other material and shots and stuff.
It's understandable. It's just I like to tip my cap to somebody who did it first, which Frank Herbert did. And it's also obviously the movie's a lot different from the books, and certain main aspects, which is very interesting to me that they went the direction they did with the movie. And I don't know if you want me to get into the main differences that I didn't particularly care for, or yeah,
we can.
Okay.
Starting from maybe in the previous film that might connect into this film as well.
Previous film was pretty overly spot on.
Because these two films are book one.
Book one, yeah. And then we're going into the next book, which is called Dune Messiah, which it's 12 years in the future, and Paul's been the emperor, and there's been a essential religious war going on throughout the empire.
Well, he thinks he's white Jesus.
Well,
by the end of the movie, he's I'm white Jesus because he drank the juice.
Yeah, so
he had the Kool-Aid.
So it's a reference to the first. And it's a reference to the books. What their path he's going on, it's called the Golden Path, which is the best way for humanity to proceed in the future. That's the vision that he has. He understands that the 61 billion people that are going to die because of him, it's actually the correct path for humanity to, sustain, live, and move on.
So he's essentially being righteous with his choice.
Correct, allegedly. Yeah, and that's why if you go back to the first movie, when he's in that fight and he has that vision, his armor is gold.
I don't recall.
Yeah, it's gold in the first one because he's,
white Jesus.
On the golden path.
He does come back from the dead after drinking the Kool-Aid.
He does come back from the dead. So in the books, the main difference is obviously the stretch of time that they're fighting isn't like 3 months like it is in the movie. It's over years. And that scene where the Harkonnens go and destroy the Siege, in the books, Paul's firstborn son is actually there and dies. Okay. So he has a kid in the first book before
with
Zendaya's character. Yeah, like they have a kid.
Oh shit!
And then obviously in the books, he goes, "I envision us having 2 more kids and they're twins," which the books go off the rails. It's like pretty fucking wild. But obviously we're not going to get into that for the review. So I thought that aspect was interesting, how they like compacted the time essentially.
We can't get into going off the rails. Like
okay.
If you like want to like point out some major what the fuck.
As we go, I definitely will. Another part of the book is Zendaya's character, Chani. She's more of a believer in Paul rather than a voice against him.
The fuck's in there?
So, I mean, I think it's we're living in an age which obviously the movie adaptation is going to be different than the books, and you have to have like different things and along those lines. But in the books, like Zendaya's character believes in him, knows what he's doing, and that whole scene after he kills Austin Butler's character, she knows the plan that he's like, I'm going to marry the Emperor's daughter. But in the books, he goes, you will not share my bed, you will not have my children, and I will not touch you.
I was going to say, when I watched the film, I wanted him to look back and whisper to her that I'm not going to fuck her. I'm not going to do anything with this chick.
Yeah.
Because he dropped Zendaya in the movie, and I was like, damn. And she was pissed.
Well, naturally. Yeah, in the book, she was not pissed. She understood like exactly what was going to happen because he told her what was going to happen, and she believed in him.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to fuck this chick.
Correct.
Which would be like reasonable, but she's under the impression that, oh, now you got power. Yes. You dropped me for power, and now you're fucking this new pussy like for power.
Yeah. But you. It's like, it's not that in the book. So I thought that's like a major point in the book too, which is like kind of like, it's interesting that's the lane you took. And in the book too, they end up having twins. They have a boy and a girl. And it's like
Luke and
I mean, not necessarily, but kind of.
Is George Lucas a fraud for copying Dune?
Maybe. He definitely copied Dune. Well, I mean, like, he obviously have his own spin on it. It's completely different. Like,
is it though? Because he's got.
But like the main points are very, very like spot on. Like they're very like, you have like an Anakin character who like you see watch grow up. Like if you watch the Star Wars films 1 through 6, you have this main Anakin character who grows up and like becomes very powerful and then like wants more and wants to save like everybody. And then they end up turning evil, which like Paul's like more of an anti-hero than he is a hero. Like once you hit the second book, he is. So like that whole aspect of what they did and how they did it, I was interested to like, if they make a Dune Part 3, which would be Dune Messiah, I'm curious to see how they're going to wrap Zendaya's character back in after she goes away. Like, is she already pregnant in the movie when she rides the sandworm away? And they're going to have the twins. So it's very like, I was kind of like thrown back by that. Another main plot point in the book that's not in the movie, which is interesting. Excuse me. So Paul's mother, when she drinks the life water.
The Kool-Aid.
Water of life, excuse me. The Reverend Mother realizes that she's pregnant. And that's why she goes, oh my God, we made a fucking mistake. Because now this fetus has the knowledge of hundreds to thousands of years of all the Bene Gesserit before her and Reverend Mothers before her, that like she ends up giving birth in the book to Paul's sister, who's Anna Joy Taylor's character in this movie. That brief scene where he like sees her.
Oh, that's what that was.
So yes, that's his sister. But in the books, she's born, and by the time the whole thing happens, like the end fight, she's born. She's like 5 years old. And in the books, the sister kills the Baron, not Paul. So that's like another major plot point that I was like, whack.
That's
you know what I mean?
Is there other major ones?
Those are like the 3 major ones that I have off the top of my head right now. So
it's like the sister killing the Baron.
Yeah.
Not communicating with Zendaya's character.
Well, like Zendaya not believing in him either. Because like throughout
the third?
Well, like throughout the entire movie, Zendaya's like, you're not the Lisa Galib. Like she's like, you're not like the chosen one.
Which I respect. Like
correct, but it's not accurate like in the book. So it was kind of like, why are we like having this spin on it?
So those are major changes
Yes.
that I feel would be disruptive to a reader.
Yes, and like for me, like I read the books. I like if I didn't read the books and I just watched this movie, I would have enjoyed it a lot more than I did. But even walking out of the movie, I like the person I went with. She was like, "Did you have a good time?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was good, but like it wasn't what I wanted it to be."
Yeah, see, I think anytime you read literature first and then see the film adaptation, a lot of times it's tip of the cap when it's close to the book as possible.
Yes.
When it's not, it's disruptive,
Well, like,
and it's like, this isn't what it is, so why the fuck are we doing this?
Those are major plot point differences. And like in the book too, like and at the end of Dune 1 when he kills I'm so mad I can't remember his name right now.
Say again,
The end of Dune 1 where he kills the dude.
Start with a P.
No, it's not a P. It's gonna really bother me that I can't remember.
Is it something?
Jonas? His name is Jonas.
It's called. I said.
Yeah. So when he kills Jonas in the book, the Fremen policy is like once you kill him, like you have to take care of his wife and children. And in the book, like Paul ends up like adopting 2 kids. Doesn't touch his wife obviously because he's with Zendaya, but like ends up taking care of the 2 kids. And like that's like a whole like thing in the book too. You know what I mean? Like he goes back to the siege and like learns like that's what he has to do now since he killed Jonas. And it's like these things like add up to me as a reader of the book before I saw like this movie adaptation.
From the sounds of it, it sounds this literature could be better served as a TV show, because some of these elements are take a long time to unpack. Like
for sure,
him gaining fatherhood over children, like that's a lot to
it's a lot,
develop.
So it's interesting that I understand why they did it for the movie, just for like time purposes and plot purposes, and like obviously you need like a voice against him, but like it's also kind of like But even like another like obviously I understand why they left this out in the book, but like in the book the Baron is a fucking pedophile, dude. He like rapes little kids.
Yeah, he's also the father of
Jessica. Yeah, his mother.
Which is like, is there a significance outside of just the fact that was the origins?
No, that's accurate, book accurate, but like it's just the Bene Gesserit like crossing like bloodlines to try to get like the perfect specimen, I should say.
Jesus.
So like so like in the books when in the books when his sister kills the Baron, she like says like sorry, like says grandfather to him. You know what I mean?
Well, he said grandfather.
Yeah, which like
See, okay, this reminds me. It's not a direct correlation, but just the character that's doing some other character's thing from a book. So in Potter and the Deathly Hallows book, in the movie Hermione, when they're in the mines,
yes,
or the Gringotts,
yep,
bang. And her idea is to release the dragon and ride out on the dragon.
Yeah.
That's actually Potter in the book. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like his gangster moment where he like rides out on a dragon. Mm-hmm. Although I liked it in the movie, but because I saw the films first technically.
Yeah.
And then read the books. But it just is one of those moments where reading it back and then realizing the significance of that moment and how it was a disservice to that character.
Yeah.
And it's weird they'll like switch it completely when it's a big moment, like him killing his grandfather.
Yeah, like that's a big plot moment in the book that like it's supposed to be the sister.
You're giving it to a different character,
correct,
and it just like changes that character entirely. Yes. Now he didn't kill she didn't kill the grandfather, and he did, and so that you're taking away from another character. It's just weird. And don't get me wrong, like for instance in the Potter one, it's dope when Hermione does that shit.
Yeah.
But I wondered why they changed it, because it was I don't know. But it just seems weird because that's the moment.
You're always walking that fine line with
creative liberties.
Yeah, we can call it creative liberties.
Yeah,
and it's hard too because like this book was written in the 60s and then like the future ones like 70s and shit, and like obviously that's a different time period where like what we have today, women empowerment, is not the same. So it's like I understand why they did what they did, but it's also like that's a major plot point that you just decided to change.
It's interesting that it made so many in this one piece of literature.
Yeah.
There was things in the film that I did find interesting. One being how they treat the scarcity of water.
Yes.
And how realistic that would be if you lived on an all desert planet.
Yeah.
Like Tatooine.
Yes. Like Tatooine. But just like sick George Lucas, man. You really killed this dude.
Yeah. But even when Paul's mother, what's her name?
Jessica.
Jessica. She goes to vomit, and Javier's character was like, "Don't do it. It's a waste. Don't do it because water is that much of a commodity." Or even crying.
Yes.
He takes the tear away. He's like, "Don't even waste water for the dead.
Don't waste water for the dead." Yeah.
And I thought that was very poetic, and I liked it, and it could be my favorite part of the movie, honestly, because I just thought it was so dramatic. Because he took a tear and then said, "Oh, dope line is to not waste water even for the dead."
Yeah.
So that might be the coolest part of the movie to me, to some degree.
Yeah, fair. I mean, one character I do want to get into is Gurney Halleck, Josh Brolin's character.
He seemed random, and
no, he's so important in the books.
But in the movie, he just reappeared.
That's how it happens in the books.
It is. And then when Paul grabs his leg and doesn't just murk him immediately, I thought it was weird that he said he recognized the footsteps of the old man.
Yeah.
Is that in the book? Is that the
well,
lie?
like it's in the first movie where he goes, "I knew it was you walking in. I could tell by your footsteps, old man."
Okay.
Where he says, "I'm not in the mood."
Okay.
So it's a callback to that.
Okay. So you want to talk about that character?
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about the ultimate get back. Like,
I thought the whole time that he maybe was going to be a negative force.
No, not at all. He's like,
I was waiting for him to turn.
No, he's a good, character. He's
an apostle.
He's very, he's very loyal to the Atreides family.
Word.
So it's a big moment. Josh Brolin, per usual, killed his character. Like, he was awesome. Like,
I liked his character,
and like I liked in this movie too. Like, he was playing like his like little guitar a bit, because that like happens a lot in the books where he like sings songs.
Word.
So I thought that was cool.
Did you like Austin Butler's character?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know he was in the movie.
Yeah, he did a good job.
He's a good actor. I know he played Elvis.
Yep.
And he's in a biker movie with Tom Hardy.
Freed Rotha. Crazy person.
Yeah, he was. But see, that was one of those things where we've seen the crazy nephew story.
Yeah.
I feel with like the Dude in Power thing. And granted, this came out in '65, like original literature. I get it, but it's still late to the game for me. It's just the way the cards have fallen.
Obviously, there was like a Dune movie before this, and like the adaptation wasn't, as great. You didn't have the CGI and everything to be able to put it all together like they do now.
Yeah, which helps in sci-fi, but it's same with like Tron.
Yeah,
it's almost. I think the first one sucks.
Yeah, I mean
it's cool when you have the new one, and it's cool for just perspective wise of what where the technology was. Its direct correlation to like society and like computers and where they were. So and we'll get into that because we're going to talk about Tron later in the life.
Yep,
and it's gonna be gas. But love those movies, but. You can make these arguments of the 80s film adaptations of books that were sci-fi don't look that good.
No,
and
they
they're
don't.
Cheesy and shitty.
Yeah. Which is fair. I mean, I did like the sandworm adaptation in this. I thought they did a good job with it.
They were cool. I thought when he goes to get on it, the sandworm, it was a little... I mean, I don't know how... realistic it could be of him trying to mount a sandworm, but I was just like, oh, he got it. Like I thought he wasn't gonna get it, and it's just like how
it's a big point in the book too, where like, and they did a good job with that in the movie where Stigler's like, don't show off, just get on it. Like, you know what I mean? Just show. Like just fucking.
But then he gets the grandfather of the sandworms. He gets the big sandworm.
Oh yeah, he gets Yep.
Was it? They didn't.
Shai Hulud.
That's the big sandworm.
No, it's just what they call the sandworms. They're god. Yeah.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Did you get one of those popcorn buckets that were like a sandworm?
No.
Why not? Those were sick.
One, the movie theater I went to didn't have it, but two, like it's
so epic.
The memes are so funny.
Oh, what was it?
Like the ones where it's like they buy like the Dune popcorn bucket and they're going to see Madam Web with like Sydney Sweeney in it and all that shit. It's like, all right, dude. Like we know what you're sticking in there.
Wow.
Make sure it's extra buttery. You know what I mean?
Wow. Gotta have that lube sometime, Shit. You talk about when Josh Brolin's character come in, right? Mm-hmm. I think that was a sequence where they had the choppers. What do you call the choppers? And that's the dragonfly type chopper.
I can't remember off the top of my head. Throppers?
Throppers? Oh, Thropper. So they had that multi-round gun that shot a radius rather than just single trajectory bullets.
Yeah.
And I thought that was dope as fuck.
Yeah,
it was like
very cool.
And it did like a whole.
It looked like the thing from the first Iron Man, the Jericho, where he fires a missile and it's like a bunch of different missiles that hit and it's
type
like,
shit. Okay,
yeah.
You always have to bring back to Marvel.
I mean,
like, come on.
It was Iron Man, dude. I can't help it.
Oh shit. What did you think? We were talking also about the nephew and the Baron's nephew, whatever.
Yep.
What did you think when he gets appointed as governor of Arrakis and he gets the kiss and then he go back for a double kiss? He was like super stoked.
That wasn't scripted.
It wasn't.
No.
Churn up.
Yeah. Austin Butler just did that. Yeah.
He was like 2 kiss.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
It was just interesting, I guess, because it showed the character's excitement, and you're like, he went up for 2 kisses.
Excitement and like loyalty to like, you know, his family. And,
I was like, I got you.
Yeah.
Like, here's the double.
like I won't let you down type thing.
Here's number 2.
Yeah.
I won't let you down kiss.
Yes. And speaking of Fade Rotha, the hand-to-hand knife scene at the end was very, very cool.
Yeah, Paul had some ninja moves. He did like this ninja spin. I was like, oh, fucks with him.
Yeah, the whole Duncan Idaho salute. Shout out him, who's actually low-key the main character in the books.
Was that
Jason Momoa's character from the first one? Yeah.
I like the dialogue they had during that battle?
Yeah.
Where Austin Butler's character asked for a special treatment that he gives to his pet, which was Zendaya.
Yes.
I thought that was swag.
Yeah.
And she was still trying to recover from the fact that she just got dropped for power. She was like, and this dude's like, well, what do you special treatment to the pet? Mm-hmm. She's like, this motherfucker. She's like, I wanted him to almost kill you, Paul. Now I want you to kill this motherfucker.
Yeah, but like again, that's like a whole different thing in the books because it's like she just believes in him, you know?
Yeah. Did they fuck up doing that? Do you think?
I think so.
It was a bad move to take creative liberties of Dune in the movies.
I mean, certain things. I understand it's hard to have a 5-year-old kill an old man, and like the concept of like a 5-year-old living the life of like hundreds and like thousands of years of people being like a 5-year-old walking up to you just saying like fuck. Can you imagine that? Like just having like the brain of a fully functioning like person. You know, I understand that's hard to adapt to a film. I get it, but also like along those lines, like that plot line of her not believing in him, I think it's like important to the book because they end up having like 2 twins that like carry the, you know, the additional books. So it's like, you know, what are we, especially the boy who that story in the books goes off the fucking rails.
What happened?
So like he has 2 twins.
This is all in the first book?
No. This is like book 3.
So the twin, they grow up.
So they grow up, or they're not growing up. They're like 8 or 9 in the 3rd book, his kids. And they go out, and his son, Leto Atreides, I believe it's the 3rd, puts on, so the sandworms come from sand trout. And deep in Arrakis, there's a river where they have sand trout that are like actual fish. And once they hit the sand, that's when they start to become the sandworm. So in the books, instead of like what he does is he fuses the sand trout to his skin and essentially becomes like Superman in a human body, has like superhuman power, superhuman strength because
he fly?
Pretty much, yeah. So it's like just like goes in and like, you know, takes back the Empire after it gets taken over in the 3rd book.
From Paul or
from his sister.
Wow.
Yeah, because in the book, Paul's sister ends up having the Baron's voice in her head because obviously they're related, and she kind of gets corrupted.
Wow.
So
they really fucked up the whole plot trajectory.
So like for him, he ends up like taking back over, you know, sister dies. But like from book 3 to book 4, it like jumps 3,000 years, and his son is immortal essentially because he's part sandworm now. And in that, you know, that book, he's half like, I mean, a quarter man, quarter sandworm. You know what I mean?
Shit.
But like,
but part of him is the sandworm.
Most of his body, he's got like little arms, but like you still see his face.
Oh shit!
But he has like rage sessions where like he'll just like kill, and then this is bringing back Duncan Idaho. Like they call them ghouls, which is like clones essentially. So they bring back Duncan Idaho as like a clone because he's like the most pure person, and like obviously the Atreides family loved Duncan Idaho for his loyalty and everything. But like in the books, like he like will have like a rage fit and kill Duncan Idaho.
And then reclone him.
And then just have another one dropped off for him.
So Paul's character and Zendaya's character aren't in the fourth books.
No, Zendaya's character, I believe she dies in the second book. And then Paul doesn't die in the second book, but like there's going to be an event that happens where he loses his eyes, but he still has his foresight. And, you know, ends up making sure everything's good and okay, and then wanders out to the desert because an event happens where he's blind. Like, no eyeballs in his face anymore. So, like, you know, Fremen, you know, religion is if you're blind, you walk out into the desert and let the desert claim you. But in the third book, he, like, comes back as, like, a...
Neo.
Not as a Neo. not as a Neo. He comes back as, like, a preacher.
Like Jesus?
Yeah. Kind of. Kind of. But he ends up, you know, dying in that one, so...
Like Jesus?
Yeah. So he's white Jesus.
He's white Jesus. Word.
But very, again, like, it was a great movie if I didn't read the books.
Yeah, for sure.
And
it's
for
good.
me, like, the major plot point that I disliked the most was Chani's character not believing in him. Because it's like you're changing the main trajectory of the story. And, like, now you're going to have a part in this next movie where he reconciles with Chani. And it's like, how's that going to happen?
Yeah, I can't believe he dropped her for power. I mean...
But in the book, he tells her what's going to happen. He's like, listen, I ain't going to fuck this bitch.
Which is a thing that you should articulate.
Correct,
when you're about to...
Hey, I'm about to fucking flip our life upside down. Watch this.
So doesn't Zendaya just become a mistress?
I mean,
She's just
it's
a
called
rat.
a concubine, just like his mom was, because his mom never married his dad. So they're called concubines in the book. Concubines, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anything else you have like gripes with this shit about, or?
Trying to think through. A lot of it was, again, it was really good. Like, and I can watch it as a movie and like try to separate it. But like, again, major plot point differences is like, you know.
I would have a hard time watching.
They do. I will give them credit. Like how the characters look are very like accurate to the book. Very accurate. So that's good.
That's dope.
I like that. I like Stigler, Javier Bottom's character, just being the ultimate hype man.
He is.
It's like he's like taking a piss. He's like Lisa Galip.
He's just about it.
Yeah.
His character was endearing, and he had like the most poetic dope line
Yes.
in the film. Yeah, I enjoyed the experience of the movie. Just it's not doing it for me, I guess.
In what aspect is it not doing it for you? Like, did it captivate you at all? Like, do you like? It's one of those things where, like you said, you've already seen the story, so you don't care. Like,
I don't. I think it's all of that, and then it could be some of the fatigue of just Star Wars in general, where the saturation has ruined sci-fi for me, because I wasn't really a sci-fi guy anyways, particularly. And I think it just is maybe sci-fi has become even more stale, because I never was a Trekkie or like I like I like the idea of Jedis and like that discipline and Sith. That shit's what is the coolest part of Star Wars, not the other shit.
Yeah.
It's the lightsaber shit. It's like that. That's dope. And so I don't know if this is just too reminiscent to the Star Wars shit and just sci-fi, where I just am like, I don't fucking care. Or it could be a little the actors and the scenario. I don't know. I recognize it as a good movie. I totally see where it gets a lot of praise, because all the elements of the film have been objectively done well.
yeah,
But I just don't care.
that's
About the characters and the plot, and I would rather not watch the movies again. Like if the new one came out, I think I would just not watch it.
yeah, interesting. I would watch it just to see like how they figure it out. To be honest,
Yeah, you kind of have to at this point as a reader. You want to. I'm surprised you're not more irritated at.
I mean, I am irritated, you know, but it's like, you know, I can also take a step back and be like, it's a good movie. You know, if I never read the books, I would think it was really good, and you know, everything along those lines. But it's also like, if you read the books, you're kind of like, why did you do this?
Why did you do this? Yeah, they be doing that shit. Yeah, it was a better version and a completed idea from the first. Excuse me, the first
Yeah.
one. I had the similar feeling of the first one. This one was better, and they introduced new characters that were interesting, more interesting or engaging. But I just felt that it was more or less the same, and I've seen shit like that, and it just, yeah, it wasn't. I don't know. It's weird. I'm kind of surprised that I don't like it more, but I just don't.
It's understandable. One thing I do want to give the film credit is the gladiator scene. I thought was very cool.
The black and white,
The black and white, the black sun, and like the fireworks and shit. I thought they did a very cool
like
job with that.
water
Yeah.
looking. Yeah. No, it was cool. Like that's what I'm saying. They did things right. And it kind of gave me some perspective as to when someone is not interested in something and they're just whatever about it. It's
Yeah.
kind of how I felt with this because it's one of the more bigger franchises you could say at this point. It's getting pretty large of a franchise and they're making good films and it's got a lot of literature with it. And I just, I'm not. It's not hitting. It could be attributing to just, I don't know. It just gave perspective. Like this is how people feel when they see something that maybe is good, and I like it, but they're not into it.
Yeah.
And
No, it's understandable. I mean, it's not for everybody,
Yeah.
and it's just like kind of like how everything is. But it is. I'm very interested to see if they're going to make a part, 3, aka Dune Messiah. I'm curious to see if they're going to take it where they take it. It's so funny, like how quick in the movie it just turns to him just being like, "I'm the chosen one."
Yeah. I was like, he's drinking his own Kool-Aid for sure.
For sure. And it's like the water of life, which is like unfortunate because like it passes down to his kids, where it's like his kids are now have this curse of having this hundreds and thousands of years of knowledge of people that lived before them. Like their like spirit lives in them essentially, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like in the books and stuff, like, obviously his sister Baron corrupts her, so she gets like fucking crazy, tries to get the kids, like Paul's kids killed, and then Paul's kids end up like having this entire like life where they just know like thousands of years, like a little 8-year-old walking around with the knowledge of like somebody who's lived for 1,000 years.
It makes more sense why the baby was talking in the womb.
Yes. Because it has knowledge now. It literally like pops out and it's just like talking. People are like, that thing's an abomination. Like
speaks 4 languages.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Correct. So
I wonder what it was like on the way out. Was it like crawl out? Like
I think it was born like a normal baby.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You're the expert on this.
Yeah. Just like the whole, like, I'm the chosen one thing. That's why I wore the LeBron jersey, nickname coming out of high school, the chosen one in poetry is like, it's me. I am Jesus.
Unbelievable.
I'm your Messiah. But it's also like, it's not his fault either. And that like,
LeBron's?
No. Well, I mean, it's not his fault. If we want to go down that rabbit hole real quick.
No, I don't.
Okay. But like in the books, in the first movie, where he's like yelling at his mom, he's like, you made me a fucking freak. Like, you know what I mean? Like giving him like the powers and like putting him on this path to like become this, Messiah essentially.
White Jesus.
Yeah.
I didn't like her character, which she's acting well for me to not like her, but I did not like her.
She's probably the most book accurate person, to be honest. She's like she did a very good job.
Did you hate her in the book?
I didn't hate her in the book.
Oh.
You understand? Like the one thing that books do way better than movies, and I say this with like Game of Thrones too, and like why Game of Thrones ended the way it did, is because you are able to go inside the person's mind in the book. It doesn't show that in the movie, like their inner monologue. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like
in the development.
Yes, and the developments and all that. So I really thought Rebecca Ferguson did a great job.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, like very phenomenal job. So if I had to pick like best actor or actress in the movie, it's by far her. Like she killed it.
Fair. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you are irritated.
Yes.
But you're okay with it.
Yeah. Listen, for
good attitude.
For the simpletons that refuse to read books, I understand why it's a good movie.
Hey. That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here. The only reason I read the books is because I literally had a part-time job where I would just sit there at a desk and not do anything and just read all day. So it was great.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a random question.
Shoot.
The Apple Vision Pros.
Yeah. Okay.
What is your take on those?
We're getting closer to Ready Player One. And that book to movie adaptation was fucking trash, if you want me to get into that.
They're coming with a sequel.
Fuck Spielberg. Because he fucked that movie up. The book is so much fucking better than the movie.
I would assume so.
The book's like way more about like Dungeons and Dragons and shit. It's not like a fucking race to get the first egg. It's so fucking whack, dude.
I like the movie.
Make nerdy shit fucking nerdy. Like if it's a nerdy book, like I'm not saying like you have to go completely book accurate, but like another major plot point in that movie, if we want to get on that fucking
Because you've read
route.
Ready Player One?
Yeah, I did read Ready Player One. We want to get on that fucking route. When he meets fucking Artemis in the book, it's at the very end of the fucking book.
I don't remember who Artemis is.
It's the girl that he likes. It's the very end of the book. He doesn't meet her until the end of the book.
Yeah.
He doesn't like get saved by her and her crew and then like does like a whole like fucking chase scene where he's trying to like, you know, get the play the game to unlock, getting, I forget what the fucking thing is called.
I thought the first
Ready
half of
Player
that
One. What's
movie
it
was
called?
great. I don't remember.
That one's gonna bother me. It'll come to my brain eventually, probably after we're done recording. But like that's like a major, again, another book to movie adaptation that really I was like, there's no fucking point to this.
I think that maybe would be why that I thought the first half of the movie was phenomenal.
The first half of the movie was good.
before he
Yeah.
meets her.
But even then, like another like different like book accurate thing, like in the movie, he's already in Columbus, Ohio, which is like the hub of, the Ready Player One simulation. And in the books, he's living in Oklahoma City and then moves to Columbus. It's like you're cutting out so much important shit in that it's very fucking irritating. And in the books too, one of the two Japanese kids that he's with, they die in fucking real life. Like they get like murked in their house. So it's like,
They're
again,
Xbox.
what?
They're con Xbox.
Yeah. So it's like, it's just important. Like, again, it's like that is a way worse book to movie adaptation than Dune. Way worse. That movie, I watched that movie. I was like, this fucking sucks.
So you read the book first and then?
Yes.
Wow. I mean, I really enjoyed the first half and then I just got disinterested towards the end. But so you think because of the Apple Vision Pros, it's reminiscent to?
Yeah, 100%.
I feel, is there going to be a population that...
And you just look like a fucking bozo walking around with those, dude.
I know, but what if they go like sunglasses with it?
Bozo. You like...
I just don't. It's one of those things like 3D TVs, for instance. They were a craze real quick, but then you realize it's almost unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could still have a 3D TV, and enjoy it, but like not everybody's gonna have one. And
correct.
This shit's like, yeah, there'll be some people that want to use that, but
yeah,
I
remembered what it was called, the Oasis. Told you it would come to my brain.
There you go.
So like, and the main like point of the book is like people aren't living in real life anymore; they're just living in the Oasis. So it's like you want to get to a point, and like the whole thing with like him meeting Artemis in real life, not in the Oasis. You know what I mean? It's completely like fucking different. It's just like the point of the main character of the book is like he wants to like. I mean, Artemis helps him find the vision to like live in real life. You know what I mean? And Ready Player 2, the book was good. I enjoyed it. Like, but again, like I just think Spielberg's gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, he might. I don't know. I don't have a hot take on it.
I have a very hot take. That book to movie adaptation's fucking trash, and you can mark that shit.
Well,
make a fucking clip out of that. That shit fucking sucks, dude.
Wow, here comes the hate.
It's just. You want to talk about an abomination? That's an abomination of a book to movie adaptation.
I haven't read the book, so I know it.
I don't. I may have the book. If I have it, I'll let you read it. It's very like
I would probably read it.
Yeah, and it's like it's nerdy shit too. Like what you like it's Dungeons and Dragons to start off and like shit like that. And it's like, dude, you guys are fucking losers for not doing it correctly.
Well, what about this Apple Vision Pro shit?
What about it? You look like a fucking cornball, dude.
What I'm saying is the technology gets better and it's not as large of a apparatus on your head.
I like to live in real life.
Yeah, no, so I guess I just feel that it's unnecessary technology.
Yes.
Like they were trying to advocate for it. They're like, oh, I can have my order that I'm ordering at Dunkin' on the screen. I can watch this. It's like, why you don't need...
What? Like I mean, what it is, it's called like TikTok brain. You always have to be doing something to like entertain you. And it's like people aren't sitting down to read a fucking book anymore, dude.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just didn't know when I first saw it kind of scared me.
Yeah.
I was surprised they had some, and because I saw some videos where the technology is actually, it's good.
Yeah.
Like you can leave a pinned window of like, say, your browser in the corner of that room, and then go in the other room and like come back and it's still there.
Still there, yeah. Which
like is cool.
It's cool, but it's also like
unnecessary.
It's unnecessary, yeah.
And I just don't think it'll take.
I think it will.
You think over time, like especially if it gets smaller,
and it's literally just like the plot to Ready Player One. The Oasis ends up like obviously there's the high end rigs that people have where you're wearing like an entire suit and you can feel everything in the Oasis, whether that's pain or pleasure. And I think you're going to get to a point where we're going to have technology like that, and people just aren't going to want to live in real life anymore because it's like, well, why would I live in real life when I can go to this planet here where I'm just having everything I want to do all the fucking time?
Yeah, if it gets to that level,
I hope it's not in my lifetime.
I don't either.
Like I'm good. I enjoy being in real life. I enjoy sitting here with you in real life, having a normal conversation.
What if we're already in a Ready Player One?
I mean, we could be in a simulation. That's a whole different. We could talk about a whole podcast how like low key we may be in the Matrix.
I just want to smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, like I just want to have a White Claw and throw a Zin in, man. That's all I want to do. It's not hard.
Bro. Is Zin's a bro thing now?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So you went full bro.
I did.
You've been full bro for how long now?
Since birth. Since birth. Shout out Sketch.
Okay. So, okay. What you got? What are you giving for a score for this movie? Tell the people.
Can I give two different scores?
Absolutely not.
Oh, fuck. Why?
It's a one score show.
Well, like, I want to, like, again, I want to be like movie score if I didn't read the book, and then if I read the book.
No, you have to give your rating.
Taking everything into account, how great everything was done in the movie, I will give it an 8.3. And the reason I give it an 8.3 is because I'm splitting the difference between a movie viewer and a book reader.
The book reader rating was what? Like
the movie goer rating was like in the 9s. As a book reader, it's like high 5s, low 6. Because it's just, you changed too many important plot points.
8.3 is not the average of those numbers.
Yeah, but I mean, 9's like way higher on the scale. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I know it is higher on the scale, but I don't know how that would
make sense in my brain.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to be clear. Okay, so you're getting 8.3.
Yeah, and again, I'm giving the movie side more credit because obviously we're reviewing a movie, not a book.
Okay. Because IMDb gave it an 8.8, Rotten Tomatoes a 93%, Metacritic 79%. I gave the first Dune a 6.1. I'm giving this one a 6.9.
Okay, nice.
Wow, you're such a bro.
I know.
Because mostly it's a very well done film. I just don't give a fuck about what's going on. So,
and that's like, like you said, it's fatigue and other things along those lines, and I understand that. But like, it was a beautifully shot movie.
Yeah, it looked great.
The acting was pretty good. Like, one thing that really kind of, I didn't think the chemistry between Zendaya and Timothée Chalamet was that great.
I agree.
On screen.
I agree.
And like, that was kind of like, that was definitely forced to me.
Agreed.
Like, I think they're too good of friends in real life to be able to act together, if that makes sense.
I don't know if he could pull her.
No. I mean, Tom Holland's way cooler.
Yeah, that's his girl.
Yeah, that's his girl, yeah.
Are they dating?
They may low-key be engaged, I think. I don't want to, be the official announcement.
That makes
well, like, sense. I know they, like, bought, like, a place in, like, London together and stuff, which is cool.
I mean, he is Spider-Man.
And
Tom Holland's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I think this Timothée
Chalamet, like, does a good job in what I've seen him in and stuff. And
he's a theater guy.
He's a theater guy. He's very book accurate to Paul Atreides. Like, how he looks and everything like that. So I give credit with the casting for things like that, but it's also, You missed too many important plot points to me from the book. But again, beautifully shot movie. One thing we didn't get into was like that last fight scene is very, very, very good. Like very well done. I liked how they did
choreograph,
it.
yeah, what
The
they
choreograph, the sandworms all coming in with all the Fremen on the back. Very cool. Like
yeah. They did all the right things.
Yeah,
I
just didn't give a fuck.
I
Yeah,
just don't
get
care.
that.
I don't know. It's bizarre, but yeah, it gave me perspective on just other, like I said, other people not being into shit that I'm like, yo, it's fucking gas. Like, yo, you gotta check out Elden Ring. Like, someone could be like, maybe I don't fuck with Elden Ring.
Yeah. Anything else you want to get off your chest now?
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is fucking gas.
Okay.
The game is fucking dope. It's snowstorming right now. I just want to big ups to you for making a trek out in this snowstorm.
Of course. I was excited to do this one and kind of talk more book than movie.
Yeah. Did you get everything off your chest? Because I want to make sure that you had a voice.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm the Lisa Khalif. And, you know, like, it's one of those things. Like, I understand, like, my opinion is going to differ from, like, other guests that we have on the show, like John X. Smith. I know he loved the movie. And it's like, and I'm not calling you, John X. Smith, a simpleton that didn't read the book. But, like, if you read the books, you're kind of like, like, too many important stuff was left out and changed and things along those lines.
He is a simpleton, though.
No, you're very smart. But
God bless you.
Overall, great like movie going experience. But again, like a good reference to that is I went with my girlfriend Jamie, who didn't see the first one, didn't know what was going on, and she like walked out of the movie. She goes, "I don't understand any of that shit."
That's how I felt with the first one. I was confused.
Yeah,
we watched it recently to get me up on what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
Because there's all these houses and characters they're throwing at you.
It's like sci-fi, like Game of Thrones-y.
It's not even close to as good as Game of Thrones.
No, not even
close.
Let's
be fucking real. Which, the 200th episode?
Yes.
Reviewing season 8.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. How many seasons back should we watch? Because I want to be on point with that shit.
We're planning on doing that this summer, right?
200th. Where this is 195.
Oh, shit. Soon.
I got 196 next week, I think, or the week after. And then I don't have 197 officially planned, so I'm trying to slow it down.
Okay. I'll probably start rewatching maybe this week. And when I mean rewatching, I'm probably going to rewatch from season 1, episode 1.
Well, can you tell me where I should? I would tell me where I should restart because I'm not going to watch the
when Jon Snow is resurrected.
Just kidding.
Spoiler alert: he comes back to life, guys.
Like white Jesus.
He's the prince that's promised, man.
That what season is that? Is that like 4?
5.
Yeah, that's what.
I think it's 5.
I was thinking.
Is it 6? Maybe 6.
See, I was thinking maybe like start at 6 because that's the Battle of the Bastards and shit.
Yeah. So that's when he comes back. Yeah. Season 6.
So like watch season 6 and 7 and then. But yeah.
Yeah, it'll be. I'm excited for that show. That's gonna be really fun. Because again, nerd alert. I read the books, so like, it's gonna be fun to like dive into that and get everything off my chest regarding that.
Yeah, I still haven't seen season 8.
Interesting. It's also,
and neither has Anonymous.
And
you and John Smith are going to be on who have seen season 8. You guys told me not to watch season 8, and so I told him not to watch season 8.
Yeah.
And so we haven't watched season 8, but now we're going to watch season 8 because of the bad conclusion and rushing of it.
It's rushed for sure. But like again, as a book goer, you understand kind of what happens.
Yeah. He still hasn't, George R.R. Martin still hasn't finished.
No, Winds of Winter, dude. I've been sitting here on my fucking ass for, I don't know, way too fucking long. I want to read the book, dude.
What if he perished?
He's definitely going to perish. Have you seen him? He doesn't look healthy.
He's definitely type 2 diabetes.
Yeah. Sticking that insulin in.
Shit. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. That one will be another like where I kind of get to nerd out and talk books and along those lines.
I'm trying to plan it for early June.
Okay.
Which is like far, but like I said, I'm gonna try to pace
it.
Be
here and before you fucking know it, dude.
I know it's 2.5 months.
Yep.
So I think that'll be tight. So anyways, anything else you want to say? Give your plug.
Oh yeah. So I stream over on YouTube. I play mostly Call of Duty Warzone. MG the Iceman. I'm on every social on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, MG the Iceman. I stream Warzone. I'm okay at it.
3-0 KD. Have you still not broken 3-1?
I'm at 308. Actually, it's going up. I'm really close.
It's been overdue. You need to step it up. It needs to be 3-1.
I think my last 10 games KD is around like a 4, so it's going up.
Okay.
Yeah, low key been frying.
Okay.
But like I got this 2-week vacation coming up, so it's gonna be like coming back from that. I'm gonna be like,
you're gonna be.
it might be trash coming back. I think like it'll take me like a good 3 to 5 games, and then I'll be like, oh okay.
I saw some shit that Michael Phelps was saying. He's saying every day you take off, it takes 2 days to get back.
Yeah.
He was talking about swimming.
Yeah,
obviously.
well, like obviously swimming and playing Call of Duty is completely different.
But
he
was
very Christopher Walken at you.
So, but it was interesting to him to break it down. He's like, I didn't take a day off for 5 years.
Yeah. And also, really quick, shout out to Christopher Walken for coming back to be the Emperor for this movie. He hasn't acted in like 3 to 4 years?
It was 4.
I think it was very cool that he came back to be the Emperor. I thought that was awesome.
I was disinterested.
You're like, I didn't give a fuck. Florence Pugh was a great casting choice for his daughter, Princess Erlon, I believe.
She seemed trouble. She seemed devious.
Yeah. And again, like, Dennis talked about it with Zendaya in the first movie. He goes, you're going to be in this movie, but like if we make another one, you're going to have a way bigger role. And that's kind of like what happens with, Florence Pugh's character.
I'm sure they both got paid.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Zendaya had like 4 lines in the first one. I bet she made bank.
Bank, yeah.
And she didn't say shit.
Yep.
She just stood there like, word. Shit. Okay. So, all right. Well, thank you for being on this show.
Excuse me, I was having a sip of my beverage. Thank you for having me. I always love coming up here. It's always fun. I'm excited for Game of Thrones. Get to completely nerd out for that. Yeah. This was also fun for me. I think I gave it a fair score. I really took the movie into account over the books. I put my prejudice aside.
I think, yeah, I respect it.
Thank you. It took a lot. It took a lot for me to do that.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you for driving out here in a blizzard.
Yeah. And, I understand your take on being disinterested in it. I get it.
It is kind of dryish, but I don't mind dry. If the story elements are decent, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's fair.
6.9.
Nice.
You're going to give it 8.3. It's fine. Get the fuck over it. All right? All right. So that's it.
That's it. That's all, folks.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem, dude. For real, I appreciate you rolling through. And that's going to conclude it over here at the Movie Rant Break on Dune Part 2 with Matt G. He going to hit it with an 8.3. I'm hitting it with 6.9. That's it, everybody. I love y'all. Check you next episode.
See you episode 200.
Deuces.
Peace.